Modern society operates on a very specific blueprint for success. We are told that the ideal person is gregarious, hypersocial, and always comfortable at the center of attention. Constant connection is treated as the ultimate metric of a well-lived life. This expectation follows a biological logic. Ancestrally, the human brain was wired to seek out the tribe. Social inclusion ensured physical safety, shared resources, and survival in a hostile environment. However, recent data reveals a striking exception to this ancient hardwiring. For highly intelligent individuals, the traditional link between frequent socialization and happiness completely breaks down. This chart shows how socialization and intelligence interact. For lower IQ individuals, seeing friends frequently boosts happiness. But look at the dark bar on the right. For high IQ individuals, the effect flips. Their life satisfaction drops the more they socialize. For these individuals, the traditional societal blueprint for happiness is effectively broken. To understand why this segment of the population thrives in isolation, we have to look at how their brains process their surroundings. Some minds possess a trait researchers identify as sensory processing sensitivity. They absorb their environment at an extremely high resolution, noticing subtle changes, feeling emotional undercurrents, and details others filter out. This graph plots life satisfaction against county population density. When placed in high-density environments, places flooded with overlapping social signals, the life satisfaction of highly intelligent people falls significantly. The sheer volume of input causes an immediate cognitive overload. Even after a busy event, processing continues. This attention residue, resolving past interactions while navigating new ones, exhausts the mind. This triggers stress patterns called thinking saboteurs. Driven by anxiety, an overloaded mind acts impulsively, rushing decisions to survive the noise. A networking event or a crowded party registers as a neurologically depleting event for a deep thinker. This social withdrawal serves as a necessary biological defense to protect cognitive reserves. To leverage this isolation, we must distinguish the state of loneliness from the state of solitude. Loneliness is a painful, involuntary condition, the feeling of being emotionally severed from the world. Solitude is the intentional, healing pursuit of peace and self-regulation. When sought intentionally, the brain gains access to a state known as deep work. This is a mode of distraction-free concentration that pushes cognitive capabilities to their absolute limit. Complex data synthesis and deep pattern recognition only activate when external interruptions drop to zero. In professional environments, deploying this isolation translates to executive silence. Instead of reacting to every minor crisis with anxious chatter, a leader comfortable in quiet spaces pauses, allowing time for strategic deliberation and careful planning. Intentional solitude provides the required architectural space for the mind to operate at peak performance, cultivating genuine executive presence and authority. A brief look at history's most rigorous thinkers reveals a shared methodology. They recognized that sustained, intense focus required ruthless physical isolation. In 1922, the psychiatrist Carl Jung built a stone tower near a remote village in Switzerland. Despite patients relying on him, Jung withdrew to this private sanctuary, removing himself from clinical obligations to concentrate fully on expanding his psychological theories. Charles Darwin spent years carefully observing nature and cultivating a devotion to objective truth. Arriving at accurate scientific conclusions requires a realistic appraisal of reality, a detachment nearly impossible to maintain amid the constant noise and validation-seeking of public life. Decades later, Bill Gates structured his schedule around Think Weeks. He would leave behind his family and Microsoft's Seattle headquarters to isolate himself in a cabin with a stack of papers. It was during one of these solitary retreats that he accurately anticipated the trajectory of technology and the rise of the internet. The ancient Greeks had a word for the result of this practice, euthymia. It is a profound state of inner peace achieved by focusing intently on your own purpose, rather than measuring your worth against the crowd's opinions. When the mind operates free of societal expectations, it processes reality objectively. Intellectual stamina and emotional stability are forged in the quiet. Still, isolating the mind carries an inherent risk. The same quiet space that allows for deep concentration can, if left unmanaged, easily become a trap. Extended, unstructured withdrawal often strips away the restorative benefits of solitude. Without a clear purpose, the absence of human contact mutates into negative isolation, risking emotional detachment and a warped sense of reality. Mastery of the intelligent mind requires the regulation of one's own energy, the ability to identify when to engage with society and when to retreat to recharge. When a deep thinker pulls away from the group, they are executing a calculated strategy to protect their capacity for sustained, rigorous thought. In an ecosystem defined by constant chatter and endless notifications, mastering silence becomes a powerful tool for achieving clarity and peace. Solitude is the necessary canvas for rigorous work. It transforms the simple act of being alone from a perceived social flaw into humanity's highest intellectual advantage.